All right, so you're getting ready for that big civil engineering worker interview, right?
Big day.
We've got a ton of intel from RoleCatcher
Oh, yeah.
to help you nail it. Think career guides,
Yep,
interview guides, the
absolutely.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And this isn't just some desk job.
Yep.
We're talking building bridges, roads, even dams.
Yeah, it's wild. The Bureau of Labor Statistics,
Uh-huh.
they're projecting 11% growth
Whoa!
over the next 10 years.
That's huge.
It is.
That means there's a lot of opportunity out there,
Lot.
but also a lot of competition.
Yeah.
So let's break it down. It's a booming industry,
Definitely booming.
tons of job security,
Job security for sure.
but also lots of competition. And let's be real, this isn't easy work.
Not easy at all.
It's physically demanding, working outdoors in all kinds of weather.
You said it.
But that's also part of the appeal. You get to see what you're building.
Tangible results. That's what's cool.
You're contributing to the infrastructure that keeps everything running. Okay, so let's talk RoleCatcher AI. How does this tech give you an edge?
RoleCatcher's AI is really like having a personal coach,
Oh, wow.
but for your career. It analyzes those long job descriptions.
Yeah, those can be brutal.
They can be.
And it figures out the skills they really want.
Precisely.
Then it helps you tailor your resume and cover letter
Yeah.
to highlight those skills.
So you stand out, both to human recruiters and those applicant tracking systems.
It's like you're speaking the AI's language, so your application doesn't get lost in the pile.
Exactly. No more digital abyss.
And RoleCatcher can even help you practice for the interview itself.
Absolutely. You can record yourself answering questions.
No way.
And the AI gives you feedback.
Yeah.
On your delivery, content, even body language.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. All right, let's get into some of those common interview questions, starting with this one. What inspired you to pursue a career in civil engineering?
This one's tricky.
Oh,
It seems simple, but they're looking for something more than it seemed like a good job. Share a story, a memory, anything that sparked your interest in building and creating.
so authenticity is key here. What would a good answer sound like?
Imagine saying something like, ever since I was a kid, I was fascinated by watching bridges being built, the scale of it all, the complexity, the way they connect communities. It just blew my mind.
I love that.
That fascination with how things are built, combined with a desire to contribute to society, led me to civil engineering. It's a field where I can combine my passion for problem solving with my desire to make a lasting impact.
That's really good. It's personal. It highlights problem-solving skills,
Excellent.
things employers want to hear.
Absolutely.
Okay, next question. It's all about safety.
Big one.
How do you ensure safety on a construction site?
They want to see, the protocols, but also your mindset. Don't just rattle off rules from a book.
Right.
Show them you understand WHY safety is important and how you contribute to a safe environment.
So what would make an answer stand out?
You could say something like, safety is paramount on any construction site. I always familiarize myself with the site-specific safety plan and any potential hazards.
That makes sense.
I'm always diligent about wearing proper PPE and encourage my colleagues to do the same. If I notice something that seems risky,
Yeah.
I speak up, even if it means pausing work to address it. It's about creating that culture of safety where everyone feels empowered to prioritize well-being.
That's good. It shows you're not just following orders,
Right.
but actively looking out for everyone. They might even follow up with something like, can you give an example of a time you identified a safety hazard?
Exactly.
So have a story ready.
Always good to have a story.
Okay, shifting gears to interpersonal skills. This one asks, how do you handle conflicts or disagreements with colleagues or clients?
Construction can be high pressure.
Oh, yeah.
So this question's about showing you can handle those disagreements professionally.
How do you demonstrate those conflict resolution skills?
Focus on open communication and solutions. You could say, I believe clear and respectful communication is key. When disagreements arise, I listen to understand everyone's perspective.
You're not just waiting to talk.
No, you're actively listening.
Right.
I try to find common ground and work together on solutions that are good for the project and the team. It's about staying calm and finding a win-win.
I like how that response highlights teamwork and a positive attitude.
That's what they want to hear.
Okay, this next one's a big one for project managers. How do you ensure that construction projects are completed on time and within budget?
This is all about organization and planning. They need to see you get the importance of deadlines.
Deadlines are everything.
Right, and resource allocation and staying on track.
It's like you're a project management guru.
You could say, I believe in detailed planning. Before any project, I go over the blueprints, break things down into smaller tasks, and create a realistic timeline.
Makes sense.
I prioritize tasks, allocate resources effectively, and constantly monitor progress. And if things change,
Yeah.
I adjust the plan. Transparency is key, keeping everyone informed about any delays or budget issues.
That's really thorough.
Yeah.
It shows you understand the big picture and you're proactive.
Exactly. Proactive is good.
All right, here's one that's always relevant. How do you stay up to date with the latest technologies and trends in civil engineering?
This is about continuous learning. Show them you're not just keeping up.
Right.
You're actively looking for new knowledge.
Okay, so how do you showcase that?
You could say, I'm passionate about staying on top of things in civil engineering. I attend conferences, I read journals like Civil Engineering, and participate in forums online. I recently even completed a course on building information modeling.
BIM. Yeah, I've heard of that.
It's changing how we plan and collaborate on projects. I'm always looking for new tools and techniques that make construction more efficient and sustainable.
So you're not just learning,
Nope.
you're applying it too.
It's all about that growth mindset.
This one focuses on teamwork. How do you manage a team of engineers and ensure everyone is working together effectively?
Leadership. They're looking for your style and how you create a good team environment.
So what's the secret to effective team management?
You might say, I believe in a supportive and collaborative style. I make sure expectations are clear, roles are defined, and communication is open. I delegate based on each person's strengths.
Makes sense.
And I always offer guidance and support, celebrating successes.
Oh, that's important.
It is. Recognizing contributions is crucial for team morale.
It's not just about managing tasks.
Nope.
It's about managing people.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk regulations. How do you ensure that a project meets all necessary regulations and codes?
They're digging into your understanding of the legal stuff here.
Oh yeah, all those codes.
You got to show that you're committed to compliance and detail-oriented enough to make sure projects meet the highest standards.
So what's the best way to answer this?
You could say something like, I'm very careful about regulatory compliance. Before starting any project, I thoroughly research building codes, permits, and safety regulations.
Thorough's good.
I consult experts when needed and stay updated on any changes. It's all about making sure the project meets all the legal requirements. Documentation is key, so I keep detailed records of permits, inspections, and compliance reports.
Okay, that shows you're organized and on top of things.
Exactly.
They might even follow up with, have you ever had a project that didn't meet a regulation? How'd you handle it?
Good follow-up.
So be ready to problem solve. Now let's dive into risk management. How do you manage risk on a construction project?
They want to see your analytical skills,
Okay.
your ability to anticipate and solve problems. They want to see that you're not just building,
Right.
You're thinking ahead.
Okay, how do you demonstrate those skills?
You could try. Risk management is built into my approach. I always start with a thorough risk assessment, figuring out potential hazards, delays, and cost overruns.
That's smart.
Then I develop contingency plans.
Backup plan.
Exactly. Outlining solutions and alternative approaches. Monitoring and communication are crucial, so I can make adjustments quickly and solve problems proactively.
So it's about being proactive and adaptable.
Absolutely.
And our final question for this part of our deep dive. How do you ensure that a project meets sustainability goals and standards?
Sustainability is a huge deal now.
It is.
They want to see that you're aware of environmental issues and that you're committed to doing things sustainably, building for the future.
Not just for today.
Right.
So it's about showing your understanding of sustainable construction.
Exactly. A good answer could be, sustainability is a top priority for me. I incorporate those design principles right from the start, focusing on energy efficiency, reducing waste, and using environmentally friendly materials.
It's all good.
I'm familiar with rating systems like LED, and I always try to meet or exceed those standards. I also believe in talking to clients and colleagues about the benefits of building sustainably.
That's great. It shows you're committed to doing what's right for the planet
Absolutely.
and that you understand the standards.
It's about more than just checking boxes. It's about caring about the environment and building a better future. Welcome back to our deep dive. We're tackling more tough interview questions to help you land that civil engineering worker job.
All right, let's jump into a question that really tests your problem-solving skills. Describe a time you had to deal with a challenging situation on a construction site. What did you do, and what was the outcome?
This is a classic one. They want to see how you handle pressure, make decisions, and get things done.
So it's story time. What kind of story should I tell?
Pick a situation that shows off your relevant skills. Maybe it was a safety issue, a scheduling conflict, or even a shortage of materials.
Gotcha. So walk them through The problem, the steps you took, and how you turned it into a positive outcome.
Exactly. Show them you can think on your feet.
Okay, paint me a picture. What would a great answer sound like?
Imagine this. We were working on a highway expansion project and ran into some unexpected soil conditions. It could have delayed the whole excavation.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was a problem.
Right.
I got together with the site supervisor and the geotechnical engineer right away. We dug into the soil reports, ran more tests, and brainstormed solutions.
Teamwork.
Exactly. We decided to use a ground improvement technique to stabilize the soil. It meant some adjustments to the schedule and budget, but we finished the project safely and met all the quality standards.
That's a great example. You showed you can collaborate, think critically, and adapt to challenges.
And you highlighted the positive outcome. That's key.
Okay, here's one that dives into your technical knowledge.
Yeah.
Explain a technical concept related to civil engineering that you're familiar with.
This is where you get to show off your understanding of those core principles.
I see. So no jargon overload.
Right. Make it clear and easy to understand. Think of it like you're teaching them something.
Gotcha. What would a good answer sound like?
Let's say you pick soil compaction. You could explain it like this. Soil compaction is super important for building stable foundations. It's like building a house on solid rock versus loose sand.
Okay, I can visualize that.
Compaction uses heavy equipment to compress the soil, making it denser and stronger. This stops it from settling and makes sure that anything built on top of it will last. It's a fundamental idea in roads, foundations, and lots of other areas of civil engineering.
That's a great explanation. Clear, concise, and you used a really good analogy to bring it to life.
And I understood how important it is in different applications.
All right, this next one always makes people a little nervous. What are your salary expectations for this position?
Yes, the salary question.
Any tips for navigating this one?
Definitely do your research beforehand. Sites like RoleCatcher or salary comparison websites can give you a good idea of the typical range for similar jobs in your area.
Know your worth.
Absolutely. But be realistic too.
Okay, how do I strike that balance in my answer?
You could say something like, based on my research and my experience, I'm aiming for a salary in the range of a realistic range.
Okay.
But I'm also open to talking more about the specific responsibilities and the potential for growth to make sure we come up with a fair and competitive compensation package.
I like that. You're showing you've done your homework, but you're also flexible.
It shows you're serious about finding the right fit.
Okay, let's talk about your future. What are your long-term career goals?
This is a chance to show them your ambition. They want to see if your goals match up with their company's vision.
So how do I paint a picture of where I see myself in the future?
Here's an example. My long-term goal is to become a project manager. I want to lead and mentor teams on those really big infrastructure projects. I'm especially interested in sustainable infrastructure development.
I see where you're going with this.
And I think this role would give me the experience and knowledge I need to reach my goals while making a real contribution to the company's success.
That's great. You showed ambition, a clear career path, and you even tied it back to their success. Smart.
And it subtly shows you're in it for the long haul.
Okay, now for the question everyone dreads. What are your weaknesses?
The dreaded weakness question. Don't worry, we can handle this.
I hope so. How do I answer this honestly without shooting myself in the foot?
The trick is to choose a weakness that's actually a strength in disguise, or a skill that you're actively working to improve.
Okay, so frame it positively.
Exactly. You could say, I can be a bit too focused on the details. I'm always striving for perfection.
Nothing wrong with that.
True, but it can be a challenge. I'm getting better at prioritizing tasks and delegating effectively. I've been working on my time management and delegation skills.
That's a great way to turn it around. You admitted a potential weakness, but showed you're working on it.
Shows you're self-aware and committed to growth.
Okay, here's one that focuses on working independently. Tell me about a time you had to work on a project with minimal supervision. How did you manage your time and make sure it was successful?
This one's all about showing you're self-motivated and can get things done on your own.
Independence is key in this field, right?
Absolutely, you could say. I was working on a road maintenance project and had to manage a whole section of repairs with very little supervision.
Sounds like a challenge.
It was.
Oof.
I carefully reviewed the plans, made a detailed schedule, and broke the work down into smaller steps.
Organized.
I prioritized based on what needed to be done first, made sure I had all the resources I needed, and kept the site supervisor updated on my progress and any issues that came up. By staying organized, proactive, and communicative, I finished the project on time and met all the standards.
Perfect. You show them you can plan, Prioritize, communicate, and deliver results even when you're working on your own.
Those are all valuable skills in any job.
All right, let's talk about learning from your mistakes. Tell me about a time you made a mistake at work. What did you learn from it?
Everyone makes mistakes. It's how you handle them that matters.
I know, but this question always makes me nervous. What's the best way to approach it?
Choose a mistake that wasn't a total disaster, something you actually learned from. Briefly explain what happened, the mistake you made, and how you fixed it.
And focus on what you learned.
Right. And how you used that knowledge to avoid making the same mistake again.
Okay, give me an example.
Imagine saying, early in my career, I messed up a calculation for the concrete we needed for a foundation. I realized it too late, and it ended up delaying the project and costing extra money.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was a lesson learned. I took responsibility for the mistake, told my supervisor, and went back over my calculations to figure out where I went wrong. I also put a double-checking system in place to prevent it from happening again.
Smart move.
It really drove home the importance of careful planning and paying close attention to detail.
That's a great way to turn a negative experience into a positive learning opportunity. You showed accountability, a willingness to learn, and a proactive approach.
Exactly.
We're back for the final part of our deep dive on nailing that civil engineering worker interview.
We've covered a lot.
Yeah, we have.
But there are still a few things that can really make you stand out.
All right, let's hear them.
Enthusiasm is huge.
Oh yeah, you got to show them you're excited.
Exactly. Remember, this is about building things, shaping the world around us. Let that passion shine through.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But how do I show enthusiasm without seeming, I don't know, over the top?
It's all about genuine interest. When you talk about projects you've worked on, let your pride in that work show. When they ask about your career goals, let your excitement for the future of civil engineering come through. That kind of energy, when it's real, it's contagious.
Yeah, it's memorable too.
Exactly. It makes you stand out.
I know some people get nervous in interviews and just freeze up.
Oh, yeah. Nerves can be tough.
Any tips for staying calm and collected?
Practice, practice, practice. Rehearse your answers out loud, even to a mirror. It helps a lot.
That's a good tip.
And remember, the interviewers are just people. They want you to do well. Think of it as a conversation, not an interrogation.
Okay, that's good advice. Let's hit a few more questions that might come up. This was a big one. Why should we hire you for this civil engineering worker position?
This is your elevator pitch. Sum up your best qualities,
Okay.
your key experiences, and connect them directly to what they're looking for.
So show them you've been paying attention.
Right. Show them you're the solution to their problem.
Okay, what would a really good answer sound like?
You could say something like, you're looking for someone who is reliable, safety conscious, and a good team player. And those are things I really value in my work.
That a good start?
My experience on projects, like give them some specific examples, has given me a solid background in the mention the key skills from the job description. I'm really excited to bring my skills to a company like Company Name that's known for quality and innovation.
I like how you tied it back to the company and what they stand for.
It shows you've done your research and that you're genuinely interested.
Now, for a question that can trip people up, do you have any questions for us? What's the best way to handle this?
Whatever you do, don't say no.
That's a good tip.
Having some good questions ready shows that you're engaged, curious, and that you're taking this interview seriously.
So what kinds of questions should I have ready?
Think about things that you genuinely want to know about the role of the company, the projects they're working on. You could ask about their biggest challenges, the opportunities for professional development, or even their company culture.
Yeah, give me some examples.
You could ask, what are some of the biggest challenges the team is facing right now? Or what are the opportunities for growth and development within the company? Or even, what's the company culture like? What values are most important?
Those are good ones. They show you're thinking beyond just the day-to-day work.
Exactly. And remember, asking questions isn't just about looking good. It's also about getting information that helps you decide if this is the right place for you.
Okay, so it's a win-win. We've come to the end of our deep dive. Any final words of wisdom before we wrap things up?
You've made it this far in the process, which means they see something in you. So be confident, be yourself, and let your passion for civil engineering shine through.
Great advice. Go get them. And hey, if you use RoleCatcher to get ready, let us know how it went. We love hearing those success stories. You can find us on social media. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of civil engineering worker interviews. Keep learning and keep building.